We are now at day 5 of the look at the Playmates Dinozords, and we are finishing off the individual figures with the Pterodactyl, which again, not a dinosaur. Very quick paleontology lesson for you. The species of flying reptiles we know as pterodactyls, pteranodons, etc., share a common ancestor with the dinosaur, but they diverged at one point. So there's a common ancestry, but what we know as pteranodons, pterodactyls, actually evolved millions of years before what we would know as dinosaurs evolved. There are very, very specific physical and genetic differences I'm not going to get into. Point being, it is a secondary, is like a side species. It is a cousin of the dinosaur, but it's not technically a dinosaur. In the same way a chimpanzee is technically related to humans, but they exist at the same time. So there you go. There you go. It's not a dinosaur, even though every single thing you've ever seen with dinosaurs includes it for some reason. Okay, enough stalling. I am stalling because of all of the individual Dinozords that Playmates sold. This is the hardest sell of all of them. The pterodactyl is not exactly known for its play value, its size, or its complexity. So you do have a lot of things working against it here, which is rather unfortunate, but we can go over it. So, as you can see, it includes the gigantic weaponry, what will become the back guns of the Megazord. They are way bigger than they used to be. So, just to get this out of the way now before we get into the main toy, these are also missile launchers now, hence why they are so big. The upside is that these missile launchers are actually just the normal guns. Do I have one of the normal guns here? Yes, I do. So if you just look by comparison, yeah, it's just way bigger for the spring launching mechanic, but otherwise it's the same gun. It's just big. It's just really big is all. But they always are associated with the pterodactyl because they're supposed to be like feet or legs. At least that's what you're supposed to use your imagination for. So, take a look at the pterodactyl itself. It is a good rendering of it. I will give it that. They have done their best to make it look more like the Pink Ranger Zord because you have the pink there on the head as well as pink stickering on the back. So you get a little bit of the proper color of the Ranger associated with it, even though it's still primarily red because it's going to act as the chest of the final Megazord. Typically, these would all be red still. You just get like a little bit of pink stickering on the back. So at least they tried. They tried to make it the Pink Ranger Zord. It's always had this funny little shape that doesn't really correspond to any physical terror, like a pterosaur of any kind. It's it's what it is. It's what you see before you. Outside of the actual guns, there's really no real play value to the Dinozord. So you can adjust the neck on 2 hinges. It's part of the transformation, but it gives you a little bit of posability. You can't really do that much with the wings. They are detented to very specific spots, so you can't flap them in any way. And yeah, it's just very light. There's very little to it. It's disappointing that there's never really anything you can do with the pterodactyl. It's just always going to be the disappointing one out of the entire team. And there's no real helping that, unfortunately. Let's just kind of put him aside. So, Playmates knew that the pterodactyl was going to be the disappointing one, and they didn't want to do another price point to get all the Dinozords out, so their mission was to bulk it out and make it seem more worth the money. The missiles and the firing launchers, that's all one thing. But to bolster it just a little bit more, and to get you completely out of frame, they did create these little miniatures of the Rangers. They are decently painted for their size, and they are all individually sculpted to match each Ranger. There's the Red Ranger. Here we go ahead and show you the Black Ranger, whose face you cannot see at all because they did not paint in the mouth of these. They're only going to paint in the visors, which really is detrimental to the black costume. There is Billy, looking very out of focus because these tiny things are very hard to focus on. What I notice is that the individual sculpts are actually acknowledged here. It's not just, the Red Ranger helmet every single time in different poses. This one obviously has the skirts and the chest. And if we look at the Yellow Ranger, well, they've done the American Yellow Ranger thing, which is there are breasts, but there is no skirt. Obviously, in the Japanese version, it was a boy named Boy. So, yeah. A few things to know about these. One, none of them are in their actual poses. That's what I always hate about these minifigures, is they never put them in any of their official poses. They're just kind of in generic karate stances. But also, they are not in scale. Not even remotely in scale. It does give you a nice little piece of display to go along with your Zords, but that's about it. So I can do the quick comparison, I guess. So let's bring out the original. Really quick, you can see the color differences immediately, as the original definitely had a lot more red to it. Size-wise, yep, you have a lot more space on the new one, but also that depth for that weird shape it has, that U shape, is way, way more pronounced on the new one than it was on the old. Yeah, because it's just got so much more junk to fit into it, so it's got to have that deep look. But also, what I like is that the original has a slant to the wings to give them a more natural angle. This, no. This is a lot more unnatural looking. So that is unfortunate. So that's a lesson they could have taken from the original and did not. Ah, well. Okay. Let's complete the tank mode. This weird little reverse advent calendar I've created where you add to it every day instead of take away. All right, get that in position there. As always, the Pterodactyl is going to clip into the legs on the back. And as is tradition, they are not going to hold on very well. Oh, geez. Would you believe I just now noticed that the mouth can open? Okay, that's silly of me, but hey, at least it accidentally opened in time to include in this review. Okay, so one more point of playability. I was not even aware of that. That's on me. That's on me. Okay, and then we will complete it. See, I always try to line up the shape here, but it never really ends up looking all that good. Screw it. That's how I always do it. I'm going to keep doing it. Go ahead, close. And then over here. There we go. And that is our finished tank mode. Yay. So tomorrow, where I will struggle with the framing, we are going to be showing off the tank mode in all of its glory, and we are also going to be transforming it and doing a full review of the actual Megazord to cap off Toycember for the year. I know it's been a rough one, but I do appreciate everyone who has joined me for it. We've got one to go to close it out. Join me, won't you?
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.